Alright, hello everyone. Today I will be making a video about the British and Soviet invasion of Iran. This is, I think, extremely poor timing to make this video. However, I think it would be an interesting map to see. Alright, now let's go over where was it fought, which of course is Iran. Right, specifically on the borders of the Caucasus, Central Asia, as well as the border with, I believe it is Iraq, but I could be wrong I'm not good at my Middle Eastern geography. Alright, now we'll go into when was it fought, which was between the 25th of August, 1941 and the 31st of August, 1941. Now let's go into who fought here. Alright, and we'll start with the Allies. Right, so we have the British, of course, slash the British Empire, and of course, the Soviet Union. Alright, now let's go into why we should get this. Let's start off with something pretty obvious, which is the Middle East, for all its flaws, it does look pretty cool. I mean, I like how North Africa looks, I like the desert, and I feel the Middle East is a very attractive looking region. And I'm aware that this is probably going to be a not very well received video. But that being said, I do believe that the Middle East is nice looking, and I think it would be cool to get some of maps based off of and out of the invasions that the Allies did there. Another benefit of getting this invasion added into the game is that we could get a map where both Allies and Soviet players can fight together. Now, I would think that this map, even though it was only fought for a very short amount of time in 1941, it should be at every BR if it gets added. Because the ability so that you can get the Allies in Comintern to fight together, I think would be very cool. Much like how there are some battles where we could get the Japanese and the Axis fighting the Allies. Another thing, that would be cool again. We could finally get a warm Soviet map, which not many people probably care about, but I care about. Which is, it would be so cool to get like a hot weather Soviet map. I feel that would be a very interesting thing to see. Because all of the Soviet maps are cold, or generally not the same environment as Tunisia. If we get a Soviet Tunisia pretty much, god damn, I think that would go so well. I'm very passionate in thinking that this would be a very cool thing to see. But yes, tell me what you guys think in the comments. Alright, and now we move on to squads, which I personally am excited to show you guys. First up, we start with the Allies. Alright, and now we start off with the 5th Maharat Light Infantry. Please correct me if I'm saying it wrong, but they fought in Iran and Italy, and the unit was formed in 1922. Next up, we have the Soviet 53rd Army with everything Soviet. There isn't a insignia, or that I can find, should I say, but they fought in Iran and the Eastern Front as well as Manchuria, and the unit formed in 1941. Now onto the Axis, which happens to also not have insignia. So you guys will just be staring at the names of them. Alright, we'll start with the 5th Kurdistan Division, which fought in, of course, Iran, and the unit was formed in 1920. Next up, we have the 1st Kurdistan Division. Yep, another Kurdish one. This one, of course, fought in Iran, and it was formed apparently around the 1930s to 40s. I couldn't get a clear answer, and I refused to use AI. But yeah, that is it for squads. Thank you. Moving on to the next. Alright, now we move on to equipment. First up, we have the Archer Mark 1, which, whilst not used in Iran, which I feel is pretty obvious, I think it would make a good addition to the game as a BR4 or 5 tank. But, like always, tell me how you guys feel about it in the comments. Next up, we have the Rothsten Mark 1, which is, I view it as a Sten that looks more visually correct because it doesn't have the extruding side piece. Instead, the mag goes down like a normal SMG or gun. I believe adding a new British SMG would always be appreciated in the tech tree, especially BR, I guess 3, you could probably at max get it to 4, but most likely 2. Nonetheless, I think it would make a good addition to the game. And next up, we have the Lanchester Mark 1 50 round, which as implied is a Lanchester Mark 1 with a 50 round magazine. Now we'll go on to Soviet equipment, which first off we have the T-35A. Alright, final weapon for the Allies/Comintern is a painted PPS-43. Now, we do already have a PPS-43 in the game, as many people know. However, I think that we could probably get this as an event gun, like the Owen gun camo, but this could be like a desert camo for the PPS-43. Now we move on to the Axis and their guns. Now we have the Persian Mauser Model 1310. The two Persian Mausers that are shown are the carbine version and the full-length rifle version. This is a Persian Mauser, it's pretty simple. It could be like a cool event squad gun for an Iranian event squad, of course. There's not many things I could think of what you could do with this rifle, really. I guess you could probably put the carbine on the tech tree and give it like a fast thing or as a premium squad. Otherwise, that's about it, really. And we are finishing up the segment on the Persian Suomi prototype, which had a top-fed magazine, unlike any Suomi I have ever seen. I do not know why it's got a top-fed magazine, but nonetheless, I think it is greatly intriguing looking. But yeah, that is going to be the end of it for this segment. Thank you so much. Now I'll just wrap it up with big thank yous to everyone who's helped in my YouTube channel. Excuse me. Slacker, of course, Squirrel Z, Forgotten Weapons, CNR, Sono. All of them fantastic YouTubers. You should go check all of them out. Great people. Not saying that I know most of them, but I know 2 of the people that I mentioned. Also, shout out to Everything. I just saw one of his videos recently. He's another enlisted streamer and content creator. He's a cool guy. You guys should also check him out. But thank you so much and have a great day.